you are referring, when you say I'm sitting here, you're referring to two things. You're referring to a bodily sensation, a neutral bodily sensation, plus a thought that says, I am sitting here and he is sitting over there. You agree? And when you take both of these together, then you say, I feel like I'm sitting here, which is a thought and a sensation. Sensation is neutral sensation, and a thought is a neutral thought. Now, you're aware of the sensation and you're aware of the thought. How could a thought or a sensation that you're experiencing be the ground upon which you say, yes, we are separate? You're experiencing a thought and a sensation, and you're concluding from that thought and that sensation that we are separate.
Because I only feel my body, I don't feel her body or his body, I don't.
Okay, so that's a thought. There is a thought that's saying, I am feeling my body, I am not feeling his body.
Right.
Yes? Because when that thought is not there, who's talking about feeling my body and feeling your body? Nobody is talking about that. But the thought arises, says, damn, I'm feeling my body, I'm not feeling Jeff's body. So there is a thought arising, right? And you're aware of the thought. Awareness is aware of the thought, yes? How could a thought that arises, any thought, be the basis upon which you conclude that we are separate? I'm just posing questions. I'm posing questions. They're interesting questions. I'm asking myself these questions.
So is it just a thought that we are in our bodies, or not in our bodies, that we are in our own vessel?
That we are separate.
Yes. Not that we're separate, but that we're in our own vessel.
That we are inside a vessel.
Yes, in our own vessel. Right.
We're inside this particular vessel.
Yes.
Our
Is
vessel.
that a thought in
Well,
itself?
imagine that there isn't the thought. Just imagine that there isn't the thought that I am inside my vessel. It's possible, right? It's possible that that thought, I don't know, is a lightning that hits you and that thought dissolves. It's possible, right? Well, everything is possible. Imagine that thought dissolves. Then, would we say, I am inside this vessel? We couldn't say that. It's interesting, isn't it? But you see, I just want to say one more thing, Sandy. It's not just a thought, there is also the feeling. The feeling. I feel like I'm here. You see, because a thought, we can see it. Say, done, it's a thought. You just see it right now. You just saw it. It's a thought. I can see that you saw it. It's a thought. That I'm inside this vessel. I'm inside my vessel. And she's inside her vessel. And he's inside his vessel. And the dog is inside his vessel. And the squirrel inside her vessel. And the stone is inside its vessel. And that's the freaking thoughts. Okay, you see it. I know you saw it. But it's the feeling that gets us. You know? We can become free of the thought, but we still get stuck in the feeling. Darn, I really feel like I'm here. So we need to contemplate that the feeling doesn't define you. A feeling is something that you experience. What you experience doesn't define you. Why do we keep on defining ourselves according to feelings that we're experiencing? And a minute later, they're gone. Now we're feeling something else because we had some ice cream. Yeah, true. Or we had when we went for a walk in the woods, now we feel different. Why do we keep defining ourselves with something we experience that keeps changing? It's a good question. It's a good question to myself. I'm asking myself. You know? And I also ask myself.
It's because we are always in limits.
Limits.
We are always in limits.
What is the limit?
The sensation is a limit.
No sensation that you experience. Why does it limit you? Why does the sensation limit you?
I don't know. I think it limits you because you are caught in a sensation.
No, you're not caught in the sensation. The sensation is caught in you. Actually, I wouldn't say even if it's caught, because I have my windows and doors open. The sensation travels right through. I'm not in the business of catching these sensations. Hey, it's a sensation, let's catch it. Why are you caught in a sensation? No, don't be caught in a sensation. It's silly. It's so ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thought. It's a story. I am caught in depression, and no, I'm caught in. This is your story. We love our story.
It feels real. Maybe that's the reason.
The more we repeat the story, the more we feel it's real. Because it's a story. The feeling is 50% story, 50% sensation. And so we repeat the story, and of course it feels real because we've been repeating the story. And we go to the shrink doctor.
Something the mind can know.
Huh?
Something the mind can know.
So can you say some more?
Well, mind can't know reality.
Cannot know reality. Yes, is it okay? The mind cannot know reality,
yeah.
but the mind doesn't need to know reality.
So if there can be a sense of identity within the known, and this becomes a pattern as it does, then it's fearful to let that go.
Yes.
Because
Yes. That's
not
right.
the mind can't know.
Yes. And it's like in your night dream. Imagine that in your night dream, Jeff, you're dreaming that you are a 7-year-old girl, okay? And you are this girl, and you want to be invited to Susie's birthday party, and heck, she hasn't invited you yet. You know.
You were Susie in the dream?
I thought he was. And so I want to go to this party. I want to go to Susie's party. Now, I don't want to let go of my identity as a 7-year-old girl, because if I let go of my identity of the 7-year-old girl, I'm not going to go to the party. You see the trickery of it. It's this identification, and then we have this sensation, because the 7-year-old girl, Louise, she really is feeling something. She's feeling very anxious about going to the party. She's feeling a little bit sad. She hasn't been invited yet. She's feeling hopeful that she will be invited soon. You know, she's trying all sorts of things. She's talking to her mommy, etc. There are also things happening, you see. And so now you talk about letting go of being Louise. Yeah, you're letting go of the whole shebang, but it's all illusion. You're not letting go of the reality of the dreamer. And in fact, when you wake up in the morning, you let go of your dreams like that. Even in your night dreams, you let go of Susie. Now you're a pink flying elephant. Yes, you do that. So we say, oh, well, we don't want to let go of our identities because that's what we are. In fact, you're letting go of your identity every night in your dreams. Don't dramatize this. I don't want to let go of my identity in my waking dream. That's a story. You'll be happy, and you are happy to let go of your identity in your waking state and to be the self. You're very happy to do that, because that is happiness. Happiness is the freedom from any limited identification. Because the limited identification is what it says. Is a limited vessel. You know what I mean? It's not as dramatic. Is that the right word? It's not as traumatic or dramatic to let it go.
Well, there's so much, and this is in identifying with the body. We're certainly taught to do that. It's certainly a part of the form for survival. To watch out for this, watch out for that. It's even taught. Don't be killed, stay alive. There's probably more adjuncts in society where it's, you have to live forever. You have to, there's always this fear of whatever it is, the fear. But and also there's things in the body, proprioceptors, that actually know that there's another part of the body and all that. It senses it and all that. So there's the sensations and all that. So it's very strong. It's in the nervous system and so forth. So it's part of the form. Part of the. But then we begin to see the illusion of it. Okay. Also, begin to see. I think one of the things that
the illusion is not the illusion of the functioning of the body mind, because it's not such an illusion. If you don't eat, you don't drink, this body will die.
Well, the illusion, I think what I'm saying on the illusion, okay, the illusion that the illusion between the division between consciousness and form.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so, see, the great fear is that the body dies. Okay.
The body will die. The body dies.
Yeah. But there's a great fear that the body dies. Okay?
Why?
And so that's the point I guess I'm trying to make is, because then I don't live anymore. Okay?
The body doesn't live anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's an I that says I don't live anymore. So that's the illusion.
I, the body, yes.
Yeah.
I, the body is the illusion.
So the idea of, again, what I've always liked from the very start when I came here was that we were contemplating truth. We were contemplating what's real.
Yes, but it's not an idea.
Yeah.
The idea is that I am the body.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's it. So it's very strong. But then when it's seen, okay, that that's not true, okay, and you can't make it true anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
You could have a panicky feeling, or you could have a happy, free feeling.
Yeah.
Or it could be a mixture. It can go back and forth.
You may have some panicky feelings, like they're like some sort of the regret, the regret of our misery. But these panicky feelings will pass.
So
because the happiness just keeps
still
growing.
It still boils down to what is reality, what is the truth.
Absolutely, a clarity about truth, about reality is very important. Because if you confuse the reality with a form, with a mortal form, you're in deep doo-doo. Because now you believe that this mortal body-mind is what's real, and good luck, because that body-mind is going in one direction.
Right.
So to be clear about the reality is very important, but you cannot be clear about the reality theoretically. You have to experience it. So, and it's a very simple experience. It's actually our most common experience, that of awareness, and that awareness is not in time and space. This very moment, it's awareness that hears and perceives. It's consciousness that hears and perceives. It's our most common experience that's somehow overlooked by the belief that, oh, I'm the body-mind. So, yes, to revisit your actual experience, not your thoughts, your actual experience that is that of presence, of beingness, of awareness, effortless. You don't need to make yourself aware. You don't need to make yourself, be. You are. You just need to understand that being is not dependent on anything. It's not a result of a body-mind experience. The body-mind experience is a result of being.
repeat that?
The being, awareness, consciousness is not the result of the body-mind. It does not depend on a body-mind experience. It's not the result of you feeding your body or you having a good relationship with your partners or having a lot of money. The consciousness, awareness, beingness is not dependent on the body-mind experience. Body-mind experiences depend on awareness, depend on consciousness. Perceptions, sensations, and thoughts are not possible without awareness.
Which is consciousness.
Consciousness, yes. Consciousness awareness is the same term. So consciousness awareness takes on the form of a thought, takes on the form of perception, takes on the form of a sensation, but it also is itself. It does not need the form. Consciousness knows itself outside of form. You know you are, right? You don't know that you are. This knowingness that I am doesn't depend that, oh yeah, I'm sitting in this chair, therefore I am. No. When you ask yourself, am I? Your answer is, yes, I am. And if I ask you, oh, was it because you just scratched your knee? You say, no. Was it because you thought about your mother? No. Was it because you thought about the money you have in your bank? No. How did you know I am? I know I am because I am. So awareness is self-knowing. Consciousness is self-knowing. There is no other self-knowingness but the self-knowingness of consciousness. There is no other self but the self. There is no other reality but the self. Nothing can know the self but the self. The self is self-knowing. The revelation of the self is the self knowing itself, knowing its reality, knowing its universality, and not leaving this knowingness.
So that-
What you're also saying then is that it's not dependent upon life or death of the body.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding?
So after the body dies, the awareness can still be the Tibetans call it a transformation of energy. Basically, the body dies, but the being doesn't die. The consciousness continues.
Being doesn't die. Consciousness doesn't continue because consciousness is not traveling anywhere. It's not continuing. There is no such thing as continuity. Continuity refers to world, body, mind impressions. There is no such thing as continuity. There is eternity of the self, but that's not to be confused with continuity. So the eternity of consciousness. Consciousness is eternal. Bodies die. A dime a dozen. They're dying non-stop. Your body is actually dying every second, every moment. It is dying and rebirthing, dying and rebirthing. There is a mental impression of a body that is not dying, but that's just an impression. In fact, there is no such thing as birth and death. It's all illusion. It's all myth. It's all belief structures. Because if you really knew your birth, you would speak of it now, but you don't know anything of your birth. It's just second-hand knowledge. That I'm born is second-hand knowledge. That this body is born is second-hand knowledge. You understand? You don't have any such experience. You speak out of...
Well, it's the same thing with thinking we're a body, too. We were taught that.
Absolutely.
You know,
But you have to go step by step. Sometimes I say things that, but even that, it's okay.
I was just thinking the other day, somebody was saying, now, my big fear is that this nothingness that, well, we were talking about non-duality and stuff, nothingness and everything and all that jazz. But, and they were talking about, yeah, but when you die, that's my biggest thing. That's where I stop. Is when you die, then I'm nothing. I'm, and then I'm not there. I'm gone. And it arose in my mind. And I thought, that's interesting because it's like, we always have the fear of that, okay, and yet we don't fear that there was nothing before. what we see as this life. And we're certainly not fearing that. We were never and never were. And
Yes, yes.
it's confusing us.
The future's more scary than the past, I guess.
We also create our own scary images, you know. Because this person who is afraid of nothingness, they're afraid of their thought about nothingness. They're afraid of their thought. They're perceiving a thought, and they're going, "Oh my God," you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's okay to perceive a thought and get scared, because we go to the movies and we perceive all sorts of images that are scary. But then we come out of the theater, and say, "Wow, that was some movie." But when we live and we don't come out of the theater, we stay in the theater. That's pretty gloomy.
That's interesting. I recently had an experience, the things that you put, it's like those gaming things. And
Virtual
it's so
reality.
real. Oh my God. Like this one was like a roller coaster
Mhm.
ride, and I swear it was real.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to fall, but I was
Yes.
just sitting on this chair.
Yes.
And somebody actually videoed
Yes.
it. But our perceptions can be fooled.
Yes.
Yeah, I sometimes think that this is virtual reality.
Yes.
And now we're going to another layer with the actual technology. We're going to get lost again in another layer.
Yes. This.
So we're lost in virtual reality right now. Well, not all of us, but most of us.
Yes.
But it's an oxymoron, isn't it, to speak of virtual reality? I mean, how can reality be virtual? I mean, it's the wrong language.
So it's reality, basically. I mean,
It's only reality.
it's only reality.
It's only reality.
But the virtual part is that we think that we're an individual, I guess.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't call it virtual reality. I would call it dream within reality.
Yeah, okay.
Because if there is reality, which we agree there is reality, what else will there be? I mean, there cannot
that's
be.
still separation. If I believe I'm a entity experiencing this reality.
Yes, it's a dream within reality.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, you know, you're sleeping and you're dreaming that you are
a dreamer.
blah blah dreamer, that you're a dreamer or whatever you are.
That's not reality either.
The reality is only one reality.
Okay.
This is only one reality. If you really contemplate that there is only one reality, there is no other teaching that's needed.
That reality is just the now.
It's the,
Nothing back.
so the
nothing
reality
forward.
is the
nothing
knowing
nothing
itself.
more to say, huh?
The knowing itself. I know I am. That's clear.
Yes.
And that's the reality, basically, of everything that you know.
Yes. You could say. You could call it I.
Instead of calling it consciousness, you
You can call it
knowingness.
I, you can call it knowingness, yes.
Yeah.
You can call it awareness, you can call it beingness, you can call it nothing. You don't need to call it anything.
Yeah.
It's just be there. I mean, you are it. You are.
Calling it something isn't it.
You know, what's
Of course.
really beautiful about reality, when you say is knowing the reality as the I am, is the joy, is the happiness, is the ananda, Satchitananda, is the bliss of the self. You see, because you could say there's only one reality. Oh, yeah, there's one reality. Oh, so everything is one. So I am this reality, but there's still something holding back.
Oh, yeah.
There's still something holding
There's a
back.
difference between knowing it and knowing it.
Something like that.
No, there's a difference.
being
because
it.
sometimes what will happen is usually when there's that experience or you become established in it, whatever, it is. And there's another place, one could say, there's another place where thought comes in and it divides and it says, the I now is the person again. I am that reality, or I am consciousness. And so there's an image of consciousness, it's got borders and everything else, believe it or not,
Yeah.
And so it's not a real, it's not that actual experience.
Yes.
Because that actual experience is just total freedom.
Yeah.
It's just total
So
joy.
the contemplation is a contemplation of the one reality, the wholeness of being. That this impression that there is a me is just mentation and sensation. There is no actual separate self that you will find anywhere. Anywhere. You will find sensation, perception, and mentation, and when you look at them, you find that the self is experiencing itself. This image is made out of knowingness, and it's me, it's I. There is no separate world, body, mind. You need to contemplate that over and over. It will sink in, will dissolve the impression of me, and you have to live your understanding. It's really, really important that you live as consciousness. You live as not you don't go back living as this person. You know, you have to walk the walk, right, or walk the path, whatever the expression is. You have to walk the walk. Okay, well, very beautiful to be with you all as usual. Very, very lovely. Thank you for your company.
Does anyone else pronounce